Hey everybody, I am running 235/75 R15s on my 92 Ford Ranger XLT two-wheel drive. Now I am getting a little bit of rubbing, as you can see from leftover tire rub marks right here, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of a lift I can do to the rear to help. Also the front, I have the little spacers that I haven't installed yet because the front is also rubbing. As you can see, it's already ate through a little bit of the tire shield, and so yeah, it's like eating into the front tire as well. I'm trying to figure out what kind of a lift that's not too expensive to do. I can grab the rear stock 4x4 2-inch blocks right here and the U, and I can use that to lift the rear of my Ford Ranger two-wheel drive by 2 inches. It did also say on the Ranger station that I might need a longer shock, so I might want to grab this one too. We will see. Alright, once you get that removed, you're going to take out this shorter one. We're not going to be using the shorter one because compared to the longer one from the 4x4, we're going to have a lot more room to work with. Alright, so we're going to use this one from the donor. In the Ranger station, it said that you may need a longer shock. Well, it's not you may, you require a longer shock, because look at this. Here's the proof. I had to remove this bottom bolt of this shock first before I'm able to fit this in, because otherwise the holes won't align and it won't give it enough play. Okay, now with 3 brakes, watch the brake line. That is going to be an 18mm. Use the impact. There you go. Here are the new Bilsteins. Bilstein. As you can see, about a 2-inch difference. Alright, once when you have removed the 19mm bolt holding down your spare tire, you're just going to pull this down. It's going to reveal this. You're going to use your stock jingy, whatever this is called, and you're going to rotate it if you can. 2 hands. Alright, well that went on just fine. So let's go ahead and now get this nut back onto there. I'm gonna try to use this jack stand to compress it as much as I can and then fit that bolt in. Now we're gonna remove the right side, passenger side, and it's the same 15 on the start and the bottom one. You're gonna have a 15mm on one side, 18mm on the other side. I like keep this held up with one hand. I'm gonna lower the jack with the other. Earlier when it wouldn't go in, I just rocked the car back and forth a little bit and then it just rolled this stuff in. So don't get your finger in there. Alright, I got my little helper here. Isn't she beautiful? Alright, so we're doing the 2-inch leveling kit with the spacer. You're gonna remove that one.
This one, and then this one right here.
And that one.
And then this one inside.
And that one inside. I didn't jack it up in the right places pretty much, but it dropped, so this thing is out. I think this needs to go all the way into this corner here. That corner. It needs to fit all the way in there, that end of that spring. Okay. Now when you have that end right below it, right below that corner, now let's grab a crowbar, and I found this probably the easiest way to probably get this piece in there, because I didn't remove my brake line, which I found really hard to. So I'm just gonna use this and use leverage from here to fit it into there. Oh my god, yeah. Something like that. Alright, now that I got the coil back in, I go ahead and bolt up the sway bar link. I have my new shock right here. I'll leave this part number down in the description. We're gonna go ahead and put the big washer. There's 2 washers, but one will only fall all the way down. You're gonna use that one for this one, then get that ridge part. Both of these rubbers are gonna be the same that are provided. Get the other side of the rubber with this ridge side, put that in. That's gonna get sandwiched in between the 2. And then you're gonna lay the curved side down. Once when you put that inside washer in, make sure the spring really seats in there a little bit better. Use a crowbar to pry it in a little bit so it really gets a good seat in there. Alright, so I got everything pretty much back in. Tightened that 1 1/8 bolt all the way down. It's flush enough. Now we're gonna add this back to the new shock absorber. Alright, when you have removed this whole bolt off, it's a little rusty maybe, then you're gonna use the same open box wrench and you could start prying this piece out. Once it's removed, there it is. Whole rusty thing. I'm gonna wheel brush my area.
This is going like way far, so this has to be positive. So this is like they're pretty close to each other, that canvas. But this one, if you're gonna drop it, it's going back. You know, you cannot. It's gonna start pulling.
Yeah.
Both, you know, the
I
catch
just
come at the
both
same
of
time.
them.
Okay, thank you.
So if you put this into spec,
Yeah.
this is gonna be way more off. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so this is after the 2-inch rear lift, 2-inch front lift. No problem turning, no rubbing. With the changes that I made, I took it to an alignment shop and they did a pretty good job. However, you can still see there's a little bit of caster issues here, a little bit of positive camber on the passenger side, and there's really not much I could do unless I do make some changes with the radius arm and a couple other changes that some people recommended.